Hello and welcome to our class. Our goal today is to learn the difference between superlatives and comparatives. What is the difference between superlative and comparative adjectives? Basically, the difference is that superlative adjectives are used to compare two objects. We use them to identify differences. And when we use superlative adjectives, we want to know the top or the bottom in a group. When we use superlative adjectives, we only compare two things. When we use superlative adjectives, we compare a minimum of three things. Examples of superlatives and comparative adjectives are: Janet is good at math. Janet is better than Sarah at math. Janet is the best at math. As you can see in this chart, we have the adjective in the base form. To make the comparative, we add ER. To make the superlative, we add EST. Remember that the article the is part of the superlative. For example, we can have old, older, the oldest. Cheap, cheaper, the cheapest. High, higher, the highest. For one-syllable adjectives that have consonant, vowel, consonant, we have hot, hotter, the hottest. Big, bigger, the biggest. Thin, thinner, the thinnest. For adjectives that end in Y, we drop the final Y, we change it for I in both cases. We add ER for the comparative and EST for the superlative. For example, healthy, healthier, the healthiest. Happy, happier, the happiest. Noisy, noisier, the noisiest. For adjectives that have two or more syllables, remember these are the adjectives that have three or more vowels. We have famous, more famous, the most famous. Generous, more generous, the most generous. As you can see, we substitute more for must. Irregular adjectives are completely different from the comparative and the superlative form. For example, good, better, the best. Bad, worse, the worst. Far, farther, the farthest. Far, further, the furthest. Remember that further and the furthest are adjectives that we use when we want to compare imaginary distance, and we normally use them when we're talking about information. For example, if we take a look at this picture, we can see that Mr. Lopez is old, but Mr. Smith is older than Mr. Lopez. And Mrs. Jane is the oldest person in her family. As you can see in this picture, Annie is shorter than Jenny, and Lori is the shortest student in her classroom. The horse is bigger than a dog, but the elephant is the heaviest animal at the zoo. The chair is more comfortable than the bench, but the sofa is the most comfortable piece of furniture in my house. Remember, we use comparatives to indicate different or identical characteristics, and superlatives to talk about the top or bottom in a group. Thank you very much for watching.